You might remember a couple days ago that I did a video talking about how Liz Cheney had endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris, and I said more Republicans are probably going to endorse her as well. And that's happened. Now, who came out today and endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris? Well, former Vice President Dick Cheney. And he is like the epitome of partisan politics. He once told a Senate leader, a Democratic Senate leader, to go F himself, uh, basically. And he said, you know, he's always been about the my party. It's my party over everything else. You know, he was Republican all the way. That was who he was and who he voted for and what he stood by. And he would block anything Democratic related. Didn't matter how good it was. And that was kind of the person he was. Now he comes out and he votes. He's saying he's voting for Vice President Kamala Harris. That is huge. I mean, you have somebody who never would have voted for a Democrat, maybe as most recent as 8 years ago. He would never have voted for Hillary Clinton. He probably didn't vote for Joe Biden, but he came out 2 years ago in an ad during the primary where Liz Cheney got primaried out, and he said in that ad, remember 2 years ago, that in our nation's 246-year history, there has never been anybody so detrimental to our country and so dangerous to the continuation of our country as Donald Trump. And this endorsement is big. Now, as I've talked about, it's not about policy. These Republicans that are coming out endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris, they're not on board saying all of her policies are great, or if they're sitting members of Congress, that they are going to vote for her policies. We can't count on that. All this is they're saying that at least at the presidential level, Donald Trump and what his second administration would bring to this country is that dangerous that they would reach across the aisle, at least at the presidential level, and vote for a Democrat. We really haven't seen that before. It's not something that you imagine a lot of, especially today with our politics being so polarizing, where a lot of things get passed in Congress, by party lines only. It's very hard to get bipartisanship, and the fact that even his own party is saying that he is that bad of a candidate is very telling. Donald Trump needs a unified Republican Party in order to even have a chance at winning, and he does not have this. Now, Dick Cheney, his voice does carry some weight within the Republican Party, and there are going to be some old school Republicans who are going to listen to what Dick Cheney says, and there will be at least some Republicans who may look to voting for Vice President Kamala Harris instead of Donald Trump because of this. So it's a big endorsement for Vice President Kamala Harris. And now that means she has the endorsements of every living Democratic president and vice president, and now at least one living Republican vice president. That's big. I have not heard anything about the rest of the living Republican presidents and vice presidents. I have not heard where their opinions fall. I know Mike Pence said he's not voting for Donald Trump, but he didn't specifically, in anything that I have seen, come out and say that he is voting for Vice President Kamala Harris. But a big endorsement, the momentum just keeps building, and I'm expecting a landslide in November.